The history of Mecca is a long and rich one, dating back to pre-Islamic times. According to Islamic tradition, the city was founded by Prophet Abraham, and his son Ishmael. They built the Kaaba, a cubical structure that is considered the holiest site in Islam. The Kaaba is believed to have been built on the site where Adam and Eve first prayed to Allah. In pre-Islamic times, Mecca was a major trading center. It was located on the trade route between the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean. The city was also a religious center, and many people from around the Arabian Peninsula would come to Mecca to worship at the Kaaba. In the 7th century, the Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca. He began to preach a new religion, Islam, which rejected the polytheism of the Quraysh tribe, who ruled Mecca. The Quraysh persecuted Muhammad and his followers, and in 622, he and his followers migrated to Medina. This event is known as the Hijra, and it marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In 630, Muhammad and his followers returned to Mecca and conquered the city. The pagan idols that were inside the Kaaba were destroyed, and the Kaaba was dedicated to the worship of Allah alone. Mecca became the holiest city in Islam, and the annual pilgrimage to Mecca, known as the Hajj, became one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Today, Mecca is a major pilgrimage destination for Muslims from all over the world. The city is also home to the Masjid al-Haram, the largest mosque in the world. The Masjid al-Haram surrounds the Kaaba, and it is the only place in the world where Muslims are allowed to pray facing the Kaaba. The history of Mecca is a complex and fascinating one. It is a city that has been at the center of religious and political conflict for centuries. However, it is also a city that is deeply revered by Muslims, and it remains one of the most important cities in the world. The key events in the history of Mecca. 7th century BCE. Mecca is founded by Prophet Abraham, and his son Ishmael. 622 CE. The Prophet Muhammad and his followers migrate to Medina, the Hijra. 630 CE. The Prophet Muhammad conquers Mecca and destroys the pagan idols in the Kaaba. 632 CE. The Prophet Muhammad dies in Medina. 7th century. The Quraysh tribe rebuilds the Kaaba. 1632 CE. The Kaaba is destroyed by a fire. It is rebuilt by the Ottoman Turks. 1979 CE. The Grand Mosque is seized by a group of armed militants. They are eventually defeated by Saudi security forces. 2020 CE. The Grand Mosque is closed to pilgrims due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The history of Mecca is a long and complex one, but it is also a story of faith, resilience, and devotion. The city remains one of the most important places in the world for Muslims, and it is a place where people from all over the world come to worship and to celebrate their faith.